What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and today we're discussing the latest bit of news out for the AEW, PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X video games. There's a couple of teasers in regards to motion captures, features that we could be getting for the game and that are being prioritized, and Kenny Omega elaborating a bit more in regards to the game. So we're gonna catch up to what we've been hearing in regards to the game, and as always, to continue being updated, make sure that you guys hit an elbow drop on that like button and turn on those notifications. To start off, we actually got some news on what exactly they're working on at this particular moment, as today the AEW Games Twitter account gave us some behind the scenes screenshots of the AEW Games audio capture work that they are doing right now. This is at the Comeback Studios in Atlanta. As you guys can see, they got the full ring set up, they got microphones all around. So this is very similar to like motion capture, except that they're only capturing the audio right now with microphones all around the ring. They're testing out the audio that happens every single time that somebody takes a bump, or just every single time that someone does a specific move to another opponent. They also got some steel steps around the ring, so they're probably testing out weapon audio as well. Now, in the initial trailer, we already saw some of the moves animations, so that seems to be something that they already been doing. But I'm sure with more superstar coming into AEW, like Sting already showing up and making his debut, and other top stars, they're probably going to continue doing motion capture leading all the way up to the release of the game. But this, on the other hand, as I said, guys, it is only the audio capture that they're doing right now. Sticking to Twitter, Brian Williams, who is actually one of the developers IUX working on the AEW video game, so because of it, you guys should definitely give him a follow. He recently teased or hinted at a potential feature that we could be getting on the AEW game, and one that is very important, so I'm glad that he actually asked the question to sort of kind of confirm it to us that it should be there. He ran a poll indicating the following: assuming gameplay is everything you will want it to be, how important it is an in-depth create a wrestler mode toward your overall enjoyment of any wrestling game. I think I have an idea, but I will very much appreciate everyone's feedback. Thank you. The options were incredibly important, which got almost an 83% of the votes. 13% said semi-important, and then 4% said not very much. I think this pretty much confirms the fact that create a wrestler is hopefully going to be in-depth in the AEW game if they are going to be listening to the fans, which I'm sure they will. One of the reasons why 2K Battlegrounds is not as playable as much is because the create a wrestler for it wasn't really that in-depth. There is no community creation, there's none of that to continue making us come back, except for the DLC updates that they're giving us on a weekly basis, which is a good thing, but more people will be playing the game on a daily basis if community creation was actually a thing. Look at WWE 2K19, for example. We keep coming back to it, and the community creation continues to be amazing there, with more and more creators still sticking to that system instead of transitioning to 2K20, which we already know has a lot of flaws. So having a creator wrestler and just a full community creation that's functional and that is in depth is extremely important. So I'm glad they're asking the right question, and it feels like they're kind of teasing that that is something that we will be getting, which is not really a surprise. Until the latest update coming from Kenny Omega in a recent interview with the Wrestling Observer Radio, he talked about some of the difficulty with the No Mercy engine and continued to elaborate on what exactly he wants to give us when it comes to the gameplay. He stated the following: I am but one of the masses that have cried for a No Mercy style of game for quite some time. About 20 years, believe it or not. There hasn't been any sort of wrestling game that has captured that magic. Generally speaking, we already have what a wrestling simulator can be, which is sort of what WWE 2K style gives us, and that's what WWE is featuring. And I always felt that No Mercy was sort of a larger than life version of what wrestling is, but still, when you could perform the movements, you know, the wrestling moves, and the way that guys would run the ropes, the way that guys would take bumps, the way that guys would sell, that actually always felt more real to me than what a wrestling simulator looked like. That was always sort of my favorite engine and style. Do I think it works 100% in the year 2020? No. Nowadays, people probably want something that's a little faster, but they want something that feels kind of similar to that experience. and they want something that's easy to pick up and play. He then went on to talk about how the next generation console controllers of today could impact what the AEW game video game plays like, making it a unique experience from what No Mercy offered while still offering some of that throwback to that game feel. He stated the following: "As you know, nothing is like the N64 controller. There's nothing that's even close." So this was a bit of a difficulty that he was explaining for today's game. He went on to state that, but it is close enough where you could create a control schematic that will feel a lot like the No Mercy style. And now sort of the struggle is that the difference between today's wrestling and the wrestling of our yesteryear is that things are more complex, and some guys have a moveset that you don't even have enough buttons to map to. So that's the biggest concern and difficulty right now. He went on to explain someone like Ray Phoenix, for example, who has a brand new move every single week. So how do you do a controller layout for someone like that who has so many moveset that you can't even fit with all those buttons? That's sort of like the biggest challenge in 2020, he indicated, where wrestling is a lot different than what it was like 20 years ago. He went on to emphasize that he still wants the game to feel like the controls from No Mercy, but the reality of the situation is a lot of the moves that the guys perform in today's world weren't even included in the game back in the day. So having to animate these new maneuvers, having to go over new physics, and the way that guys go about performing moves, that's sort of like the new challenge. He went on to state that there is a lot of complex stuff that happens in today's pro wrestling, and it will be hard to make it work and make it seem fluid and non-glitchy, end quote. So that seems to be a difficulty that the team is going to be working on to perfect it for when the game actually comes out. Overall, this definitely seems to be an ambitious thinking of Kenny Omega. I really like the fact that he mentioned even Ray Phoenix having brand new moves on a weekly basis, because that means that they're paying attention to all of that, to making sure everything is up to date, and they're trying to work things out to give us the ultimate best experience. Anyways guys, that is all the latest that I got for you in regards to the AEW game. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below, and hit those notifications to continue being up to date. The more news that we get, the more coverage that I will be giving you guys. I'll make sure to bunch it up and give it to you just like this. Anyways, thank you for watching. I'll catch you on the next one, and you already know, stay savage.
Sting with an epic victory.
Your winner, Sting!
Wow, what a match that was, ladies and gentlemen. The Vigilante has claimed another victim. Sting wins! What a match that was, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for joining us.